And I want to say welcome. So today is the inaugural virtual book club call for the Coaching Business Builder Workbook and Planner. Many of you who are here live with me have heard me talking about this project, not just throughout this year. I started writing it earlier this year, but many of you would know that I've been working with coaches for the last 15 years, working with small business owners, micro enterprise for longer than that. And it's really interesting when projects and pieces of work come to culmination. So welcome to you. You're sort of like here on the ground floor with a book that I hope is going to really be sweeping across our landscape. As I've been talking with coaches and ICF chapters and ICF meetings this year, people are really excited about it. And I have to say I am too. So welcome. My name's Jennifer Britton, if we haven't met yet. Certainly nice to meet you. Hope that you'll drop into some more of these virtual book club calls. I'm the author of 4 books now that have been published. So Coaching Business Builder Workbook and Planner is the latest in the series. Started out, of course, many moons ago back in 2010 with the first book that came out, and that was the Effective Group Coaching, the world's first book on group coaching to be published. So really a pleasure to be here spending some time with you on a Friday afternoon. It's Friday, August the 3rd, and the book just came out 2 days ago. So I want to walk you through what the planner is all about. It's part workbook, part planner. I've got a proof copy here, so it won't look very different when you receive it. It is, of course, my standard sort of weighty flesh. And I will say it's a hard copy only. A lot of people have asked, are you going to do a soft copy? Are you going to do a Kindle version? And with this book, the answer right now is no. It's only going to be available to you in hard copy because the notion is that you're going to use this as a workbook and a planner, something analog that you're actually going to physically use and write in and refer to on a daily basis. As much as the digital world is amazing, and as you know, my last book last year was Effective Virtual Conversations, it's just not the same if we are only doing things on our computer. We're not locking it in neurally as much as we would when we write things. Some of you may also know I've been a planner and a program designer for many, many years. Way before I became a coach in 2003, I spent the first 15 years of my career working as a program manager and designer. And part of that took me very heavily into the realm of, in those days we called program management, which is really sort of like project management on steroids. I was often managing multi-million-dollar projects that were national in scope. And what we really lived by in those days and still holds true is what Peter Drucker wrote: what doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. And I think for all of us as business owners, whether we are new to business or even for me in my 15th year of business, it's really important that we take some time to stop, pause, and also make some plans for our business. Now, whether or not those plans really materialize as we envision, that's something we see every day in our conversations as coaches with our clients. I think it's really important that we spend time working on the aspirational side of things. And that really is the notion behind the first half of this workbook that I'm going to walk you through, which is a whole series of different focus areas on helping you as a business get clear on what you want to offer and where you want to go. So if you're a coach, this book is probably for you. You don't have to be a new coach. You can certainly be an experienced coach. And it really has evolved out of a very practical standpoint. So as I said at the start of the call, I've been working with businesses for the better part of the last 20 years. It started off in my work in the Americas, mostly in ecotourism, when I was supporting hotels, ecotourist reserves, and B&Bs on creating sustainable livelihoods. And I never really saw that as part of business development, but as I transitioned back to North America in 2003, 2004, I had a couple of colleges and universities reach out and ask me to start doing some teaching, some business lecturing at their schools. They brought me in initially around human resource management and training and development issues. And as they heard a little bit more about my work, they started asking me, would you mind doing a program for our students, for our entrepreneurs around business planning? Or, small business development. And in those days, as I was growing my business, I thought, why not? I'm going through it as a business myself. It would be really neat to sort of look at the research and see how it practically interfaces, how the theory practically interfaced with the reality. And so back in 2004 through 2007, I was very involved, not only in, starting as a coach, doing group coaching work, but actually in small business coaching work. And that was the roots of something I sort of like moved away from and come back to. And I must say, in the last couple of years, increasingly, a lot of coaches have been inquiring, can you support me with my business development? And absolutely, I'm more than happy to do that. I offer the Coaching Biz Growth Lab, which is a program that we started up earlier this year in 2018. That meets twice a month, and it's a small group where we really focus in on what's important for you in your business right now. So that gave me the impetus, I have to say, and for those of you that are in the Coaching Biz Growth Lab, you really inspired me this year to put something in print because, as you know, we all learn in different ways, and we don't always have an hour or 2 hours a month to jump in on a call. And that's truly how the CBB Planner, as I'm calling it, Coaching Business Builder Planner, evolved. So I want to take you through the planner itself. If you haven't found the new website, please take a moment to head on over to coachingbusinessbuilder.com. On it, you'll see my sort of comments around daily steps and consistent action create momentum. And I think many of you are like me, very busy. We wear multiple hats. We may be a business owner. We may be a parent. We may be a spouse. We may be, a caretaker. I'm caretaker to my 80-year-old parents. And, I don't always have full days to be focusing in on my business. But I have learned over the last full-time 14 years now, moving into 15 years, that consistent action over a daily process or a regular process does create momentum. And that's in fact what helped me really pull these different resources together and bring it to you in the Coaching Business Builder workbook and planner. So I want to walk you through the actual book. For those that have ordered it, fantastic. I hope that you will rip it open and start working on it once you get it. If you've not ordered it, it's available over on Amazon. Of course, sort of like the world's biggest bookstore. And it is divided into 5 sections. So a little bit about the different sections. It is created so that you can jump in anywhere. And if you've read any of my writing, you know that I rarely write cover to cover. I write things so that you can jump in and use it as needed. And truly, this book is the same. So we start off with the business fundamentals. And if you're new to coaching, new to a coaching business, this may be a great place to start. I would even assert if you are an established business, it's good to go back to the basics every once in a while. And the business fundamentals is really looking at topics like, what is your vision? I'll just read off actually out of it. I explore sort of the context of coaching today, your business mix. Also give you a chance to revisit your skills and strengths as a coach. So opportunity for you to take stock of what you bring to the table and get you thinking about your clients and, most importantly, ourselves as a business owner. In most business development work, we focus on the external. We focus on the business, we focus on what's happening in the context, and we don't often focus in on ourselves. And I think that's really what I enjoy about the Coaching Biz Growth Lab, is it's a focus on you, it's a focus on others, and I really wanted that to reflect in this book, in the Coaching Business Builder. So if you're interested in those topics, might want to start in section 1, which is the business fundamentals. If you really are perhaps more about the technical, getting things done, and you're an independent business and a solopreneur, so running the show on yourself, you might want to jump more into section 2 as a starting place. And that is called the Solopreneur Primer. Some of you may have joined me a couple of years ago for a video-based course of the same name. And when I stepped into my 12th year of business, I felt that it was really important for me as a business owner to stop and pause and say, what's helped me be successful so far along my journey? I then evolved those 12 tips into a short, several-hour video-based course. And dozens, if not hundreds of coaches have taken that program over the last few years. A lot of meaty, great things in it. And I know that not everyone has time to sit through lots of video. So if you turn to section 2, Solopreneur Primer, I've taken the best of those tips, things that actually helped grow potentials, realize my business, and given them to you as some text. But more importantly, in these first 4 sections, you've got a lot of space to be doing some work for yourself. So I'm just going to show you a page. We've got some screenshots later on. There's a lot of white space, lots of questions for you to consider, checklists, things for you to take stock of so that you can really be leveraging what you're great at and identifying even that if you don't know it already. Section 3 is about marketing essentials, and I can't tell you how many people have left the group coaching essentials program saying, I loved week 3 and I have so much to do. And I think marketing is important at any stage of our business. So section 3 is geared to looking at 9 different strategies for spreading the word about your offerings. From blogging to podcasting to networking, there are, again, some reflective questions to get you thinking about how you want to spread the word about your business. Now, again, I've termed it essentials because it is by no means comprehensive, nor is it, all that you need, but it's a starting point. And I think that then helps us really look at what are the plans we want to make, which is all section 5 of the book. So the last 150 pages is an actual undated planner. I'm going to take us into that next, but I would be remiss in jumping over sort of what I think is the heart of the book, and that is what I've called the ecosystem. I used that analogy of the ecosystem in Effective Virtual Conversations last year to really describe what is that interconnected context that we operate within. And as a business, we have our own internal and external ecosystem. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes business just doesn't take root because perhaps it's really not in alignment with ourselves as a business owner. So the ecosystem is all about you getting really clear on your strengths, your values, your vision, and bringing it together in a very graphical, stylistic way. If any of you have joined me in the last 10 years for the virtual business planning retreats that I'll still continue offering, you'll be familiar with the ecosystem, and it is something you can revisit again and again. So it's here in section 4, and for now, let me take you a little bit into the inside of the book. So there's 27 different business tools, and it's interesting. In the last couple of days, I've had a lot of coach training schools reach out to me and ask about the book. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have, because I think a lot of coach training schools are looking at what resources can we suggest for our own students who are growing their own businesses, but students who are wanting to work with their own clients. And throughout the book, I've included 27 different business tools or templates, things that I hope you'll be applying for your own work. And you might even start thinking about how you could incorporate them in your own work as a coach. So, quick example. One thing I talk a lot about is using a tool around strategic issues mapping. And we've never really had a design for it. You just usually have seen me on a call and it's squiggled out. So that's there along with 27 other different tools. And again, there's short activities getting you to move through it face to face to face. What you see here is sort of a standard page. So again, the book is like full size. It's big enough that it can go on your desk or on your bookshelf. It's small enough that you can still put it in your briefcase. But there's questions here for you to be really working through. And I would really encourage you to think about how you can chunk this down in terms of, maybe you do a couple pages a week, reflect on them, and take action. There's more than 125 pages of reflective exercises in these first 4 of the 5 sections. And that will really gear you up then for the heart of the book. And so, as I said at the start of the call, I've been a planner for many years. I love planners. I work through about 5 or 6 different planners a year from my own bullet journal. And this actually was a big inspiration for me last year. Handwriting is not my best thing, but I really live for spending time at the start and end of every month using my bullet journal to keep me on focus. So as I've evolved away, I've realized I don't want to put my personal stuff with the other stuff in my planner. And so this is where the Coaching Business Builder planner is going to come into play. So let me take you through some of the undated planning pages that you have available to you. They're divided down into annual, quarterly, and monthly tools. I don't think that this will replace your own daily planner, and I wouldn't want that to replace your own daily planner, but this is really a tool that you can be using to refer back to on a 12-month basis for those meta goals. And we know in our own work how important it is to sit down with clients using the annual tools. So from an annual planning pages, there's 7 different resources that you could be using to start at any time of the year. One of the reasons why I wanted to get this book out now rather than wait until the end of the year is because I think for many of us, August, September is the start of a year. I don't know about you, but as soon as my son goes off to school and he's stepping into grade 8, 8th grade this coming year, I really feel that it's sort of like a new year has begun. So I hope that you'll spend some time this month starting to look through the annual pages, things like the annual tracker, your annual vision, whether you choose to do it from September to August or even December to, the next year, January. That's totally up to you, and you can pick up this book at any time. Now, in addition to the annual plan, there are 4 sets of undated quarterly planning pages. And a couple screenshots here, you'll see the quarterly planner. I know one of you has already alerted me that the link, you're getting an error URL 404. We'll fix that, and I'll follow up with a link to that over at the Coaching Business Builder page. If you go on over there to coachingbusinessbuilder.com, if you click on over to Daily Planner, you should be able to download that right away. But I'll make sure that anyone who's on the call today gets a copy of this. So if you pre-ordered, I'll reach out to you as well. And that's the thing, if you pre-ordered from Amazon, send me your pre-order invoice or something to just show that you did do a pre-order. And that way I can send you some additional bonus materials, because I'm very thankful to my loyal readers who follow me from book to book to book. And as a thank you, want to, provide a few additional resources for you. So one of those additional resources for the pre-order folk is a digital copy of the quarterly planner. If the link is not working, don't worry, just email me, send me your invoice of that pre-order purchase, and I'll send you a digital copy of the quarterly planner. But, quarterly planning is key. Now we're August, we're stepping into sort of the fall time. It might be a great time, even though we're not quite through quarter 3, to really pull that out and make a list of your quarterly to-dos, as well as other things that you want to be looking at. So if you're just coming in, I'll get you to mute your line if that's all right. There we go. And at the same token, really with quarterly planning, we can be doing this at any time. Now, my favorite pages actually are the monthly pages. And just to illustrate, because I haven't gotten my final copy of the book yet either, it's en route to me as well. What I did the other night was I just sat down and started working through some of the monthly pages. So what you can see here are actually a number of different resources. You've got a monthly calendar, and you've also got a month in focus and a monthly daily tracker. So with that, I really hope that you'll be tracking things on a regular basis. I've just started my monthly daily tracker for the month of August, and I've designed this so that there's a number of key business and personal elements that you can be tracking on a regular basis. It's probably pretty small on your screen, but I'm tracking things like my social media outreach, because it's really important for me to do that regularly. I'm also tracking some personal things like, am I swimming every day? Am I walking? And if so, how much? So I've already started coloring that in. Now, it's important to put a bit of a month in focus, and I would be remiss in saying that it's good to just jump in there. I think we want to start by doing some monthly reflection, and that's where one of your 7 monthly tools is a monthly reflection taking stock page. I've been using this consistently in my own work for the last 7-8 months as I've been sort of beta testing this, seeing, what needs to change, what needs to tweak. And it works really well in terms of, grabbing a few minutes at the end of every month to take stock of what you're doing. So that tool is one of the many 7 sets. As you can see, there's 7 sets of undated pages. So when I say 7 sets, you're going to see really 7 times 12 sets of papers that month to month you can just go in and start writing. So there's a calendar, and one of my favorite sections beyond the monthly planner is a whole section on content planning. Now, as coaches, we're not necessarily doing a lot of expert work, but I know for most of you, you're blogging, you're speaking, you're doing program design. And there really isn't a planner out there that I've found, at least to now, that gives you tools to help house your content planning in one area. So for 12 months, whenever you choose to start it, you will have some monthly tools to start tracking your activities and tracking your thoughts. And just behind here, you see one of my favorite tools that I've included here that I created. I call it 1 line a day, because it's sort of neat when you look back at the end of the year to say, what was I doing? So here's what it looks like in the actual book. But there's a 1 line a day, and there's also another tracker here for content. Some of you know that I've been a blogger, so this is a little slightly different tracker, but there's space here for you to take note of what you're writing on and also tracking any important metrics for you. This could be used, it's under the guise of content, but certainly you can use it under other things too, to track sales, to track visits, etc., etc. So that's under its own section in the planner called the Content Planning Tools. And of course, there are some additional pages, which I've called the back pages creative planning tools. And those are 4 more tools to support you in other initiatives, including a 1-page plan. And anyone who's been with me in group coaching knows how in love or how much I appreciate and use in my own business and with my own clients the 1-page plan. So there's one there included for you so that you can quickly flip apropos to the end of the book, see what's on your 1-page plan, and start moving into some execution around that. So that's the book. And again, I think for $30, you'll find it's a great resource. If you have colleagues that you know who would benefit from, please share the word about that. Again, I'll be outreaching to a lot of the ICF chapters and coach training schools to talk about the book, because I think we all do need something that can support us. So let me pause here, and I just want to take any questions that people might have about the planner before I move on to just saying a little bit more about some of the special events that are planned for this month. Just feel free to unmute. I know we're a larger call today. You don't know other people on the call. Just curious if you have any questions about the planner itself and how to use it. And maybe while we're waiting for people to unmute, I'm just going to iterate 2 questions that I've had by email in the last few days. One about when will it be available in Canada and other places. So this book is printed in the US for a variety of reasons. And from there, Amazon, Canada, UK, Japan, all other areas will be picking it up in the next 30 days, and those distribution centers will be making it available. Again, I've opted to do a paper-based only at this stage, at least in August 2018, because I really want you to go through the physical act of having it there with you, of physically maneuvering it, of writing, because we do know that the act of writing, a physical act of writing by pen and not keyboard, actually creates new neural pathways within your brain. When I even type as an author, it's not the same retention or neural web that's getting created. So that's why I've opted in this book to really just go with the hard copy version. So any questions at all from anyone on the call today? Not seeing anyone raise their hand. You can raise your hand. You can also do a chat.
This is Michelle. I just can't wait to get my hands on this this tool. Thank you so much for creating it. And I even loved that very first thing that you had at the beginning, the little graph that kind of showed where you were on the timeline to guide you on where to engage with the planner, that you can go from front to back, or you can just jump in those key points. So not so much a question, just an observation. So
nice. Well, every time I release a new book, I learn, and it's sort of an added value to all of you who support me as readers. And so, part of this, I'll just sort of say here, I wasn't going to mention it, but like part of what my vision is for this book, a couple of things. Number one, I'll be offering these Friday, usually they'll happen on Friday, these virtual book club calls. The virtual book club is really, once you get your hands on the book, to come and we'll look at different sections together. So these are complimentary. They'll always be 30 minutes in length. And I would envision there might be 1 or 2 a month that I'll be able to host. Stay tuned. I'll be posting those as soon as I can over at coachingbusinessbuilder.com. For those that are interested in doing more paid stuff, let me take you into the continued exercises or virtual programs that I offer. I'll be continuing the virtual business planning retreats. Some of you may have joined me at some point in the last 10 years around this. I've been offering them for the last 10 years. They keep growing. Why I keep offering them is because people love them. And this month, so August 2018, I'll be doing a back to fall, Monday, August 20th, a 4.5-hour virtual business planning retreat. So if you are looking for a space to take some action, have some guided exercises to really move your thinking forward, That's a great program. And this month it's going to be a 4.5-hour retreat. As we get towards the end of the year, of course, I'll be scheduling in November and December some of the longer 2019 virtual business planning retreats. Hope you'll join me for those. And that is a different program. That's going to be separate from what you see here in the Coaching Business Builder. There's a little bit of overlap, but it's a different look and a different feel. So if you really want to take a deep dive on a structured way, that's a great program for you to consider. This month, starting in August, I'm going to be introducing regular planning hacks, something I've been experimenting with in the last 2 years with those that have joined me in the different labs that I offer. I've been compressing these longer planning and design periods into much shorter hacks and sprints, and they've really worked. Certainly a lot of people who go through them say, wow, I can't believe how much headway I've gotten in the short time together. So starting on Monday, this coming Monday, August the 6th at 9 to 9:45 a.m. I'm going to be doing a monthly planning hack. And if anyone really wants to get their August calendar under control, that is a great thing to join me for. I'm offering them at an introductory price of $25 for the 45-minute session, so you really can't lose. But we'll be going through from minute 1 to minute 45 questions to get you actually laying out your August. And at the end of the month, then I'll be starting to do month-end reflection calls and planning for the next month. So this month, Friday, August 31st, I'll be hosting the first of the month-end planning calls. And if you're looking for really, again, something that is live, something that is virtual, something that's going to get you reflecting and also planning for the next month, please think about joining me. These ones will be paid programs, but at certainly a really reasonable rate. Now, with the inspiration, I think, for this year really has come from the Coaching Biz Growth Lab. And every month I get to work with a great group of coaches, a small group of coaches who are growing their business. We meet on the first and third Fridays of every month, usually between 3 and 4 p.m. Eastern, or in the summer months between 2 and 3. And this is a program you can join me for annually, monthly, or quarterly. It's a really, again, an added bonus. It focuses on helping you grow your business. And we also focus in on, giving you some articles, some templates, and some real-time action. So it really is a tremendous bonus. Anyone coming into the lab has access to additional resourcing as well. And you can find out more about that program by going over to coachingbizgrowthlab.com. It is an open enrollment program at this moment in time, so you can come and go as you like. I think people, though, once they get a couple of weeks under their belt, realize they really enjoy it. So first and third Fridays of every month, as of September, we'll be going back to our 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern time window. I talked a bit about the hacks. Might join me maybe Monday, or there'll be another one that I'm doing on gearing up for fall on August 13th. And I'll be continuing to add on as we go. As a thanks for attending, this link does work. So go to www.coachingbusinessbuilder.com/daily-planning. You will be able to download the one-page daily planner. As I said a short while ago, I don't intend that this workbook planner will replace your daily planning. But if you feel that you need a daily planner, maybe try out the one I've been using and the one I've been sharing for the last year through different programming that I offer. And so feel free to download that. I want to say a big thanks for attending. And just as Michelle sort of nicely fit us, where do you want to start? Do you want to jump right in with the planner? Do you want to start in looking at marketing essentials? Or do you want to go back to the basics and focus in on business fundamentals? You can start anywhere. And one of my hopes is that you are sharing with others the benefits you get from working with this book. I've just started an Instagram challenge, and I'm so appreciative of it. If you are on Instagram, I'd love to see you and your planner in action. So we've got some new hashtags. Coaching Business Builder is one. Coaching Biz Planner is another. And I'd love for you to take a photo of you, your planner, on the road. I have envisions that I'm going to take it out on the river one day. There's a river right outside. You might be hearing kids on the river laughing, screaming, playing. But I'm going to be taking it downriver because there's nothing like actually having a quiet space to be able to stop, reflect, and do some planning. So I'll take some photos of that. And if you're on Instagram, find me there at Jen, Jen.Britton. Also join me this fall. Again, once again, all these different types of programming, whether it's at the Biz Growth Lab, whether it's here at the Virtual Book Club. And I will say that next Friday, same time, same bat channel. So here I will be doing another call. And today I've given you an overview. Next week, I want to actually take us into some of the book. All of you who have pre-ordered should have the book by that point. So bring your book with you to any of the Virtual Book Club calls. Again, they're a community call. It's complimentary, no fee except for your own time. And with that, I want to say a big thank you. If you work with coaches, something that's coming later this year is a book club discussion guide for your own groups. What I love doing is being part of book clubs, and so I'm going to be sort of passing that on. And as we continue to roll out with the launch this fall, I'll be developing a book club discussion guide if you and your coaches are using it as a resource. So with that, it is Friday. It is Friday of a long weekend here in Canada. Hope that you'll stay tuned for 31 days of posts. As we go to wrap up, this would not be a Jennifer Britton call if I didn't ask you, what's the one thing you're committed to doing? And I know when we have Zoom and everyone's on mute, probably there's not everyone who wants to say something, but I'd love to hear you share in the chat or share verbally what's one thing you're committed to doing for yourself and your business in the next month. So before Labor Day rolls around, early September, what's the one thing you're committed to doing? And please share that on chat or unmute and let's hear what your plans are. We've already got a number of you saying some things. So Michelle's going to connect with me on the Instagram challenge. Alex says commitment, developing consistent action. What else? Who else is going to take some action in the next month? So as we're waiting for that typing, I do hope that you'll join me for the Instagram challenge and, let me know what you're doing. We have others saying that they're going to work on their business plans, on program plans. It's all about doing things one at a time. Latifa says complete the August planner and move to the quarterly and annual planner. And Carol shares start with the workbook basics to refresh and move forward. So thank you. If you're back with me next Friday, we're going to do something more interactive. So today was more of me talking about the book. Next week, bring your own planner if you have it. If not, order it over at Amazon. And come and get ready to put pen to paper because I'll have a planned activity for you next Friday, August 10th, I believe it is, at 12 noon. And with that, everyone, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us for this inaugural Virtual Book Club launch. Doo-doo! Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Take care. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Bye. Latifu, Alex, Carol, others who have joined me. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you. Good to see you, Kathleen, Barbara, Lori. All right. Take care, everyone.